And this time we'll hide that so I don't accidentally bump it. So we have a circle here, and the black line's a diameter, and this other one, that's just a chord. But they're both chords. Okay. How many degrees does the diameter cut off? 180 degrees. So we'll talk about that being an arc and all that another day. But what we're concerned about with today is chords and how they how long they are and the angle or the lengths of lines they cut off and so on. All right. So if CA is 160 degrees, then the central angle is 160 degrees. We've had this before. Probably this very same drawing. And then by vertical angles, what's this angle over here? 160 degrees. So what's this arc over here? 160 degrees. Okay? So one of our theorems in geometry says that if a chord and another chord are the same distance away from the center of the circle, and these are both 6 away, so they're the same distance, then the chords are the same length. Okay? If these are the same distance away from the center, then they're the same length. So if this is 7 and this is 7, this whole thing is? So this other one is 14. Okay? Now, how am I supposed to find x down here? I know this chord is 6, and the distance it is from the center is 4.6, but this one isn't even a chord. It's a what? Radius. How am I supposed to figure out that radius? Could I draw it somewhere else? Could I draw a radius there? Is this radius longer than this radius? No. All radii of the circle are the same. So that's x. So since that's x, and this 6 I can split up into 3 and 3, and all of a sudden this triangle here is a right triangle with 3, 4.6, and x. And how do I figure out x? Pythagorean theorem. X squared equals 3 squared plus 4.6 squared. X squared equals 9 plus 4.6 squared must be what? 21.16 or something like that?
30.16.
And then 9 plus 21.16 is 30.16. If we take the square root of that, x equals, 5 point, about 5, right? 5.5. That's the length of that diameter. Okay, how long is AB here? Well, let's break it apart a little bit. I know that CD, the whole thing is 16. So this is 8 and this is 8. Okay? I know the radius is 10. If we go here, that doesn't help me find CD. So where should I draw it to? From A to C. Very good. Now I know this is 10. And all of a sudden, now I have a right triangle and I know 2 of the sides. I know the hypotenuse is 10. This is 8. I want to know this side. So 10 squared equals 8 squared plus x squared. So 100 equals 64 plus x squared. If we subtract 64, x squared equals 36. And if we take the square root, what does x equal? So this is 6 from here to here. How far is it from here to here? 6. What's 6 plus 6? 12 feet. All right. Now, you'll get this the very last section of this chapter, but they throw it at you right now. This is a circle formula where the center is 0 and 0 because we're not adding or subtracting anything. And we'll figure that out later. This 81 is important because you take the square root of that to find the radius of a circle. So what's the square root of 81? So see how this goes through 9, 9, 9, and 9. Now, I want to know the length of this segment from here all the way to here. But to find that, we're going to stop right there and make a triangle. What's my radius? 9. This bottom part is 4 because it's at x equals 4, this line is. I want to find this. And somebody earlier said, well, can't we just count? Count the squares? And no. Well, if I erase my little dot here, this doesn't go exactly right through there. Really, really close, but not exactly. So we got to do the Pythagorean theorem. 9 squared equals x squared plus 4 squared. So 81 equals x squared plus 16. Subtract 16. X squared equals 65. Take the square root. Square root of 65 is 8 point. Now let's go one more decimal place. 0.6, right? Now that's what half of it is. So if x is half of that, then we multiply it by 2. And then we get 16.12. And that's why we went out an extra decimal point. Because if we would have just rounded to 8.1, then multiplied by 2, it would have been 16.2, which isn't the right answer. It's 16.1 is the answer. Okay? So Pythagorean theorem, Pythagorean theorem, Pythagorean theorem, and then the first two are just, you should know how to figure those out. But the rest is Pythagorean theorem, and Pythagorean theorem. This will not take you very long. If anybody is behind on any homework, you should catch up on that you're behind on. All right. So let me put the assignment out there. And your homework's out there.